What's up, everyone? This is the Fraser LeVay podcast weekly segment with Uncle Blaiso, where we will talk NFL, a little bit of Yellowstone and TV, college football, and everything in between in the world of sports. First, shout out to our sponsor. I am self promoting myself per usual. I just finished a children's book, which was a gift for my new little man. It's called Learn with Lukai is the series. The first book is How to Play Soccer. It's a fun book of just learning sports. It's great for kids 3 to 8. It's on Amazon. It's .com.ca.ou. Wherever you are, order it. Support the book. Support me. Some self-promotion. I know you'll like it, especially if you have kids from that target age. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And of course, just having the little one spawned it all and made it happen and made it a reality. Super excited. Tons of books to come: basketball, football, snowboarding, baseball, everything in between. So I also apologize quick. The audio, we had some Wi-Fi issues, I had Wi-Fi issues on this podcast. So it's a little choppy, but Blaze and I got through it, and I'm sure you'll still enjoy it. So let's get into it. Weekly segment. Here comes Blaiso. Let's go. Speaking of the newborn, let's do like a quick baby update segment. I realize it's a lot like being like a Navy SEAL. Like, is it Hell Week? Is that what it is? Like where they're just get tortured for the first little bit when they want to try out. So yeah, Navy SEAL tryouts. Yeah. So it's like first week, you're kind of excited to get there. The first couple days, wow, this is amazing. It's a dream come true. Energy is up. You're high-fiving people. Someone dropped their bread. You're like, oh, take my bread. Totally fine. Everyone's having great time. And then it starts to set in, and it's like sleep deprivation, screaming in your face, literally getting pissed and shit on. Some terrorist drill sergeant won't let you rest. And then it's like, you're like, okay. And then you drop some bread. Then you're like, no, it's my fucking bread. You start yelling at your best friend. So it's just, yeah. It's like, I discovered, like, dads just kind of eat anything. I've always been a bit of a not eat everything. Like, I'm not picky, but, I want what I want.
Yeah, you're very picky, actually. Yeah.
A good meal. And so now it's like, I get why dads just eat cold food and just love it. Like, you just find yourself, again, it's like the scene in, have you seen Zero Dark 30?
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
Great movie. It's like where that one guy at the start's getting, you can't do it anymore.
Prisoner.
Yeah, the prisoner, where he's depriving him of sleep. They're making him stand up for a whole day, playing music so loud so he can't sleep, shitting in himself. And then they finally feed him like a little bit of food, and he's just like fucking hovering in his mouth.
Yeah, shoving it in. And his hands like mushed up, and there's food squishing out. Yeah.
So I totally understand it now. So
and then they take it away from him. That's an underrated movie, actually. That was a badass movie.
It's one of my favorite. I've probably watched it like 15 times. It's literally one of my favorite movies.
I've seen it a ton as well. I love it. I like Jessie Chastain. She's solid.
She's in a lot of it. I also like the movie that she's in with. She believes in. Oh, there's two great movies she's in, but with Matthew McConaughey, and they go into space.
It's one of my favorite movies as well. But how about the one when she's she starts running a poker game?
Oh yeah, Molly's Game, another great movie.
Yeah, that's solid as well.
Is she married? I wonder.
I don't know.
Probably. I feel like she's like. I think she's like the most underrated actress. Like, she's obviously well rated, but I feel like she's like, you don't think of her in that tier 1, where she might be a tier 1 actress. Speaking, I think you know this. It's like a guy code, and I guess you have to say girl code now in 2024.
Sure.
Everyone needs to know this. Our friend Banner.
Yeah.
If I call you and you're on speakerphone in the car, what typically is your response? You're like, "Oh yeah, what's up, Fraser? Like, just in the car with Tara. We're driving here. Blah 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 blah." Great, good to know. Not like we're gonna say anything outlandish. Not anything. So Banner calls me. I haven't seen him forever. I don't know if he's married or what his status is. I don't know if he's coming down to stay at my place actually today.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it's like a guy's trip. If he's single, no idea. I'm like, oh yeah, you'll love it. A bunch of girls at the pool at my place. blah blah blah. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, no, just here with I forget his lady's name, but
yeah,
and the
I
kids in
won't
the
announce it
back."
on here.
And I'm just like, "Oh, we don't like. Shouldn't you just say that from this? Because now you look like an asshole, and I look like an asshole.
Yeah,
So
more so
I don't
you.
know. Yeah, everyone out there, I
Yeah,
think you need to announce these things because people know your relationship status. And
yeah. You always announce when someone else is in the vehicle with you, like
mm-hmm.
because although it can backfire, because as you know, Auntie Tara is a bit of a smartass, so I'll be like, if I call her, she'll call me when I'm working or have someone with me, like, hey, I'm like me and so are working right now, and then she'll say something right away. She'll just crack a joke and be inappropriate and like
Yeah.
start sex talk. I'm like, okay, like I literally
So
just told you this, but so sometimes
yeah.
it backfires too because if you tell her that, then she can be a bit of a
Yeah.
bit of a
Loose
pain in the
cannon.
ass that way. But yeah,
Yeah. Speaking
but
of
with Banner,
Taryn,
this innocence
oh
is
yeah.
just bliss with him sometimes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just such a free, easygoing. He's not going to think of those things. He's just kind of
Yeah.
cruising
I
through life, thinking of his next road trip.
I texted him. I was like, maybe a heads up next time. He's like, sorry, I do that all the time. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
All right.
no doubt.
Um, but quick Yellowstone. Have you watched it yet?
Oh,
Nothing like.
yeah, yeah.
I think it was a really good episode, but I think they just need to kill one person off, and then it'll be totally fine. Like
Who you want dead?
I just kill him, like hang him, shoot him in the face, whatever. Tate needs to go.
Oh
Like,
no, he's the heir.
yes, he's
You
just
can't
the
kill the
worst.
heir.
How many times does he have to say "get a room, guys" in his terrible
Yeah,
acting
that is
over and
not
over?
great. That is
And
not
that's
great.
and I'm glad you brought up the air part because that's how you can kill him off. He was in it with Jamie this whole time, pulling the
Yeah.
strings. He's like, "Oh,
Oh,
I've got the
come
money."
on. That kid's not smart enough to fucking walk and chew gum at the same time. You think he's pulling off that kind of mastermind?
No,
There's no
but
chance. Come on.
the only
But
worst actor is that Monday Night Football promo brunette girl who she's terrible too. But yeah, Tate's terrible.
you know what though? When you brought up Tate, it reminded me because I remember I asked you about the first episode and what happened to the little homeless kid that was suddenly on the ranch, and you're like, "Oh, I haven't seen him yet, but he's probably gotten like chubby and fat. So it's brutal. Actually, they didn't put him on TV. Then they showed him. He's just a pretty good looking kid. Like
It's a new
big,
kid. No,
tall.
they subbed him out.
No.
Yes, it's a whole new kid.
Oh, really?
I forgot
I'm like,
they subbed him out at the start of season 5. So he's been there since the start of season 5. But yeah, they subbed him out. It's not the same kid.
oh, okay, well, yeah, because he's only been in the first episode a little bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, that kid plays the part. This is gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, no, they got a new kid. They subbed out the chubby kid who they said was attractive, and I was like, no, he's not. Like, respectfully, but
yeah,
yeah,
respectfully, a fat ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff. Yeah, no, there's a couple of scenes there. Like, the scene with Beth and the chief on the deck there, where they're just kind of like bouncing back and forth the idea that they're completely screwed. I'm like, well, that's lame. What are you talking about? There's got to be, you two always got to work around somewhere in there. Like, let's figure it out.
And then I thought there was gonna be some Native American loophole.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. There always is, right? Like, it's got to be coming still. You know who will find it is old buddy there, his sidekick. I love that guy. Yeah, him and Casey are out for their little nature walk. That guy's a beauty.
I like him. He's
the best. He'll come up with something. He'll be like, "Oh, hey, why don't we, we'll burn a bunch of incest and we'll reel someone in here, and then they'll end up with no hair, and we keep the land." Deal?
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Did you say burning a bunch of incest?
Incense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, incense should be burnt too at the stake.
That's true. Both those things. Well, let's jump into the NFL because I've got.
Hold on, before you leave TV. Actually, you just reminded me. The incest talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Our boy Binns just started watching Game of Thrones.
Okay. I thought you were gonna go in a weird way.
No, because incest. Like he's like, wow, like shit. That brothers and sisters in the first season. He's like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm like, how? We were watching football on Saturday, and we're like, me and Bud are like, how in the hell you're just starting to watch this? You got to be the only person I know that hasn't seen Game of Thrones,
especially post COVID. I feel like everyone was like finally caved during COVID. They're like, all right,
yeah, I know, it was wild. I was like, okay. He's like, I don't know if I can watch this. I'm like, dude, just get through the first like 2 episodes, and you'll never ever stop. Like, it's awesome. But
it's crazy because it's definitely better the second time you watch it, and then it might even be better the third time. Because the first season, you feel like you don't know what's going on. You don't know like the families, and you're like, what is it's going different places.
All the dealings, you're right. Like the second, third time you watch it, it's amazing.
Like even what's the guy that was supposed to protect the Queen of Dragons or the Mother of Dragons, whatever, and like he forgot he was plotting to kill her, and there was like behind the scenes stuff you never would have picked up the first time because you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then he'd end up being like his most devoted, most Jorah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's see.
No, Jorah was his dad. Mormont.
Okay.
What the fuck was his name? Anyway.
I don't know.
And then one more thing before we leave TV, I looked this up. Our girl Jessie's married to some dude named Gianluca Passi de Prepolsulo.
Let me guess, he's a director or like some sort of owner of movies.
Apparently, he's certainly Italian, right?
Yeah, he sounds Italian.
Executive for the luxury brand Moncler and co-owner of the award-winning Prosecco band Fiol. So he's like a wine dude.
Oh, that seems like it's right up her alley. I'm glad she found that.
Yeah,
that'd be my selection for
her. Right? Oh,
it's a rich wine dude.
Another thing says he works in high fashion.
She deserves that for all that.
I don't know
happiness she's given us.
He works in high fashion too.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Yeah, good for them. They look happy.
Yeah. On this episode, we want to get to NFL. Who's in, who's out. Who do you have in the conference? We got a few winners and losers we need to hit first. Also, we're going to talk some college, but you were watching the game via text with me. The loser every week, it's a broken record, but the inability of the NFL to spot the ball again. So here's everyone who's listening. Blaze knows this quote. Here's a quote from the NFL rules analyst during the Bears-Vikings game. If a coach challenges, you cannot use the boundary camera. So let me read that one more time for everyone. If a coach challenges, you cannot use the boundary camera. So a camera for the boundary cannot be used to get the call right. Like, I guess the reasoning, like, where do I start?
Head scratcher.
I guess not every stadium has this type of camera, so it wouldn't be fair if you only called it in one game.
Right.
Not the other. But I'm like, what a fucking bass-ackwards way to do things. Like, imagine that was life. It's like, like Blaiso's seatbelt isn't working today. Everyone in Phoenix, no seatbelts today.
No seatbelt.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Everyone just drive.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Absolutely.
Or like third world country has corrupt police and malaria. So rest of the world, corrupt police, malaria. Sorry.
Yeah.
If we can't have it here, we can't have it there.
Can't have it.
And it's like, this guy in Sudan, little baby can't eat. Sorry, Lukai. No food for you. We need it fair across. It's just, what are we doing? I just don't understand why. How is that the reasoning? We don't want to get the call right in this game since we can't over there.
No, exactly. It's bonkers. They're so big and they get all these different little things thrown at them all the time, and then they're just like, we'll fix it next year, and then they never do. And then again, can we please get some younger people manning these archaic chains?
Oh my god!
How about this dude didn't even get hit? He just fell.
He slipped
just had a stroke.
He had this. I think he slipped on the arrow on the ground. There's like those little arrows on the ground.
Watch his knees. He just like timber, and he just down he went.
I literally felt he was getting trolled.
Right.
And it was like the Bears game. So everyone, let me set the stage. Overtime, back like Bears with a crazy comeback. Onside kick, recovery, goes in overtime. Vikings stop him. Vikings third and long to maybe lose the game or can win the game if they get the third and long. They get it, Addison catch, and then all of a sudden play is stopped for 10 minutes while the Vikings have momentum. And this guy is just hurt on the ground. They put him in the blue tent, so now he's a player. He's getting in the blue tent. Let's tape him up, whatever.
He's in the protocol.
Then they ran the chains off the field, and then the ref went and grabbed them, and he's like, no, bring those back. Like, it was just chaos. Why are we stopping the game for this long? And then I thought, I guess that teams don't own the chain gangs, do they? Because if they did, just chain gang guy, like, just fall and collapse when you need a timeout, things are crazy.
You get the signal from the coach. and then
yeah,
down he goes.
Just,
Their league of plays.
God.
But like they need to start putting these people through training camp too. I mean, like when I used to coach baseball and to simulate double plays, we'd have like the bags that you'd get at like a football goalpost, like a tackling dummy type thing, and you just throw them at their feet while they're working around the base, right? Let's do the same thing for chain gangs. Let's have them just basically stand there on the sideline and you throw these at their feet. And if they can't jump over them, then they certainly aren't going to be able to jump over two NFL players coming at your feet in the middle of a game at 20 miles an hour. Like enough. These people stop putting these old dudes out there. I get it. It's a cool job, but they volunteered and they've done this, yada, yada, yada. Awesome. Give them something to do somewhere else in the stadium. Give them free tickets. I don't give a shit. Put people on the sideline that aren't going to slow the game down. Like, it's already a dumb system. We now make it worse by having Harold and Pete that, like, can't even walk into the building without help. And they're manning this chains going up and down the sideline. It's ridiculous. Like, it's got to stop.
Just one guy fell over cones. This guy just collapsed. Like, what? Oh my God.
And I mean, really, how about all the buzz that you get now, like at these UFC events or the fake boxing that they just had? Like, all of a sudden, these ring girls pop up and they go viral. All these beautiful women. Do that then. If you're in Miami or somewhere hot, have like good looking women down there, or have like young up and coming high school football players that, if your team plays well that week, you get to go to the NFL game and walk up and down. I mean, it's not rocket science. You stand there and hold onto a post.
Yeah, and they're not doing it. Like, they're not doing the spotting. They're just
just standing there holding it.
The stick.
Yeah, it's got to stop.
Getting hurt once every 2 weeks minimum. Someone collapses.
There's been like 5 this year where they've just got taken out. Enough.
Speaking of taking out, I can't wait for this to happen. You're going to lose your mind and send a million curse words through your phone at me. I'm so excited for this to happen.
What is this?
So the loser is the player in the playoffs that's going to hit Patrick Mahomes out of bounds and give them the game, because he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He's doing his little, staying in bounds, blah, 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 and he's gone. And some first year players became like, that shit's not going to happen to me. That motherfucker tries that. I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to hit him. Blah, blah. Yeah. And Mahomes is going to do his thing and then run out of bounds.
Yeah.
Flags out of the
15
game.
yards, game over. That guy gets arrested. NFL throws him for life.
Exactly.
It's 100% happening. He's just toying with people at this point.
He really is. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good.
It's going to be bad. I feel bad for the Panthers. I don't feel bad. They battled, but as soon as they they tied the game there, awesome 2-point convert, and you're like, a minute and a half left. And the chance of them winning at that point, I think, was 0. In my eyes, it was. I'm like, you guys have no chance. Like, there's
absolutely
just
0.
Like, how many guys have been like that? There's him, Tom, like, where you get it, and it's not, are they going to get down here? It's like 10 times out of 10, he's going in, and the game's over. Like, it's
absolutely,
it's uncanny.
Speaking of, so they scored too early. No one pointed this out in the Thursday game. I was like 95% sure that the Browns let them score? Who at the end scored?
Or
the Steelers?
I remember I had to go to the rink, so I saw like the first 3 quarters.
Oh yeah, sorry. The Steelers let the Browns score.
Yeah.
So like they really were just like, but no one really pointed it out. But speaking of the Browns, we need to get to the winner of the week, fans, and the Winnie experience. Thursday night. If we don't deserve him, he's doing snow angels. He's throwing brutal game-sealing interceptions. The game's over. Just an awful throw. And then he comes back to beat the best defense in football in the worst conditions.
Absolutely.
And we just couldn't ask for Steelers, Browns, snow, Jameis Winston. And then the stat of the week, maybe the stat of the year, is a Winnie stat of the year. And I was taking these notes during the game. He was 0 for 10 on third down. 0 for 10 on third down.
Yeah.
4 for 4 on fourth downs, including the one with the game on the line.
Jesus.
It was so good.
That is nuts.
And then I came to this realization, the Jameis Winston realization, that I don't know how I just had this epiphany and no one thought of this.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's point shaving this whole time.
Really?
He's got to. There's no other reason he would be this up, down, up, down, up, down. He's point shaving a billion
I don't
percent.
know. Have
He's
you heard the guy
thinking
talk? There's like he is so unstable. That is
it's
like
all a game. It's all he's like, oh, thank God.
it
He's
can't
just
be.
throwing you out. He's throwing you off the scent. He's playing chess as well. Well,
If it's all a game, then he deserves like an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Because he's the greatest actor of all time.
He
Did you see his
is.
pregame interview?
Yeah.
And he's just like looking around and he's smiling and he's not even answering the questions. He's like,
No.
he's so funny.
He
But
is.
like
I'm
they
just
can't.
happy to be here.
They must risk it every time they put him on live TV. This must be like, oh boy, what is this? What's going to happen here? Are we sure this is a good idea? But
Yeah.
the point shaving angle, that's not bad because like there are a few times where you're just like, dude, what? Why?
Yeah.
Or he just
Also-
permanently has a concussion. That's also can't be ruled out.
Is he like we've compared him to Aaron Brooks, and this one just popped in my head because another Browns player. The only other player we've thought something like this, not the point shaving, just like something might be wrong. Braylon Edwards. Remember, we're like, he has to need
LASIK
glasses.
boy.
Yeah, we're like, this guy needs glasses. He just doesn't know he needs glasses.
Yeah, he'd be open deep all the time. Yeah, he'd reach up and the ball would hit him in the mask, or he'd it was uncanny how often it happened too. And he was always open. The guy could fly.
It's just brutal.
That he would like put his hands up after the ball was gone, or like he'd put his hands up and then close it, and then the ball would come. Like it was an absolute calamity 50% of the time that the ball got thrown to him.
Yeah.
He for sure needed LASIK surgery.
He did. But yeah, happy for Winnie. A winner, and I think maybe we can just parlay this into college football. It's just college football fans who like want to watch the world burn because there's going to be absolute shit show at the end.
It's going to be awesome.
Like I was looking I meant to have it up, but like, do you want to see Blaze Arizona State in the college football playoff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right.
Scatabo. I love Scatabo.
All right.
You seen that running back?
No.
Oh yeah, they got this. He's like a mini Mike Allstott. The last name's Scatabo, and he's just a tank. He's really good. So that's the only player I can name. But he's solid. I'd be all for it. But you're right. Like they're only in if they earn it, though. So you have to give it to them. And if they win the Big 12, they're in. And I think right now they are in line to be in the title game, aren't they? Or certainly right there.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the most recent rankings, but it's just like there's so many teams that you're just like, I really don't want to see them get blown out by 30. And then it's going to be, do you want them or do you want a 3-loss Alabama or whoever it is? But then that's just going to create absolute insanity.
It is. This I'm seeing. So I got one projection right now showing Indiana at 9, which sucks. Like that was, you must have had so much fun with all your internet friends on that one because like they did not belong. The talent gap in that game was so evident, and they battled, right? They did hang in there for a while, but you could just see after about 2 drives, you're just like, well, this game's ending the way we think it's going to end.
Not to dive off on a tangent too much, but a quick loser, Indiana bandwagon fans, especially you pussies that deleted your comments on my semi-viral TikTok video about Indiana being frauds. So I gave it to a ton of people. I had, hundreds of fake Indiana football fans. I call fake because not one has watched the game, except for all of a sudden when they're now ranked 4th, but never heard of it before. And and they're just this, that, and then a bunch of you guys, grown men, deleting your comments. You're so soft, Indiana.
I love it.
You're the worst.
I love it. It's fitting though. Like,
I
mean, their NFL teams named the Rats. Like, it's kind of the culture around that area.
It's true. Racism started in Indiana, so I get it.
Oh, did it?
I'm pretty sure. Or KKK. Sorry, I'm not sure about racism.
I don't know if that's the roots of racism. I feel like it would have taken hold long before they got that far inland.
No, I like it. KKK and just racism in general started in Indiana.
Yeah, I think it'd be a harder one to prove, but
So I mean, Boise State, SMU, BYU, A&M, Colorado, Clemson, South Carolina are all on the kind of cusp.
Yeah. So Clemson and South Carolina, I think, are in a good spot.
Yeah.
Because playing each other this week, right? Like in a lot of, they're going to both be around 15-ish, 14, 15, 16. They're both going to be in there. And so the winner's going to get a bump. And, Clemson could even get into the title game. So I could see one of those two teams making it, even though, Carolina is going to be compared to the other 3-loss SEC teams. They're, they've been playing unbelievable lately. Their defense is nasty.
Yeah.
And if they get that win against a top 15 team, why not?
Yeah.
Why not bump them in? Get Alabama out of there. They had, they were my biggest loser of the week.
Yeah.
They had
Oklahoma.
It was in their hands to get to the title game. All they had to do was win, and Oklahoma's not good this year. And not only did they lose the game, they got crushed.
Worked.
Right? They got 3 points. And I know you and I are different on this one, but Jalen Milroe's not a quarterback. He's not a good quarterback.
But how many are good
playing the position?
Yeah.
He what?
I mean, there's not tons of good college quarterbacks, right? A lot of them are pretty run first-ish.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, fine. But how many of them are putting up 3 points in the biggest game of the year against a sub 500 team? It's like I said, I just don't think he's a quarterback. He can run, and he's a tremendous athlete, but he can't read a defense, and he can't hit receivers unless they're wide ass open and his first read. So I don't know. I'm not sold on that guy. He seems like a tremendous kid and works hard, all that kind of stuff, but he's not a great quarterback.
He's definitely polarizing. Anything I listen to, they're at the start of the season, he's terrible. All those things you said. Then 5 games in, he's back. He's going to be a top 5 pick. And then it's he's terrible. And then it's back and forth.
Yeah, you ain't going to be no top 5 pick unless he convinces people he can play running back. But
and then I was going to say, Alabama. So I mean, if I'm going to call other teams frauds, it's all right, Alabama's lost 3 games, including this one to Oklahoma. I mean, kind of fraudulent. You can't really, if Indiana lost to Oklahoma, I'd be killing them. So
absolutely, I know it's hard because Indiana's going to get in, right? They're going to get in because they don't have, but they don't have a win. They don't have a signature win on their schedule.
They have I read there was a 130th team, points for or whatever it is, basically they played the 140th schedule.
Yeah,
it's just terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, they haven't played anybody, but they're going to get in. And the only thing that I'm hoping for, and maybe this isn't very nice, but I just hope they don't get a home game.
Yeah.
Right. Fine. Let them in. They're 11-1. Played nobody. Let them in. But those home games are valuable, man. It's worth a lot of money, and those should be for the real teams. So if they get in, as the 10 or 11 seed, whatever. Maybe they can keep it close against somebody, right? I don't know who, because
the teams I think they have playing Penn State. It looks like a Penn State Indiana, which again is stupid that can happen.
Yeah.
They should make it a rule you have to play someone from outside your division or your conference. Sorry.
Yeah, and I could see them doing that though when they do the final rankings, when they set the matchups. I bet you they avoid that.
Yeah,
they certainly should.
Yeah, because I mean, who in for sure? We got Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, and then it starts getting shaky with SMU, Indiana, Boise State, Clemson, Bama, Arizona State, Ole Miss, South Carolina. Yeah.
I mean, it's Notre Dame, as long as they don't lose this week they're at USC, and that's a rivalry thing. If they lose, they don't deserve to be in, but if they win, then they're in pretty solidly. They'll be probably a 6th seed, something like that.
Yeah, right now they're 5th, or at least in the AP top 25.
Right, but you got to remember that there's 2 conference champions that are going to be moving above them.
That's right.
Whether it be the Group of 5 team or the ACC and Big 12, one of them, they're going to be the 3 and 4 seeds. So that'll bump them down. So,
and I guess either Clemson or South Carolina, they'll take. Let's call it the 12th spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. And Boise State shouldn't lose.
No.
They've got Oregon State next, so I mean they're in. Indiana, I think they just have some trash game left. So I mean
there is
who's
a
going to be in the
window
Big
for
Ten
one of
title
those
game?
3-loss SEC teams because SMU is probably going to play Miami in the title game for the ACC, and so then do you take the loser of that with 2 losses, or do you take Alabama or Ole Miss or A&M or who else?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about in Texas. Like, it sucks for SMU. They're the perfect example of they should just say, "Oh, we're not going to go play the conference championship game," because they're in if they don't lose again.
Yeah, with
But then
decline
if
the
they
penalty. We'll decline it.
But yeah, if they go in and they play this conference game, then they lose and they're out. So it's like what a weird double-edged sword that
It is.
we made this huge game,
and
without it we were in, and now with it we lose, we're out.
Now that said, if that conference title game is a really good game, then they'll just take both teams.
Yeah,
right.
It's like a 3-point game or something real close. Absolutely, that makes sense.
The other thing that we're not really talking about because a lot of people don't think it's likely, but Texas A&M plays Texas this week.
Yeah,
and if they win, I believe they're in the title game.
Ooh,
so wouldn't that mix things up a little bit?
Yeah, that would be huge,
right? Like then what happens?
I'm trying to find. Wow.
Yeah. And so I don't know where the game is. I mean, obviously, if it's at A&M or at Texas, but that if they win that, they bump in right to the title game. Now Texas is sitting there with 2 losses. They probably end up being a 10 seed or 11 seed. And then, if Alabama A&M were to win again, right? A lot could happen on that game on Saturday.
What's the tiebreaker after? I guess obviously head to head, but because right now couldn't there be a Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, all
Georgia's
2 loss?
Georgia's in
no matter.
Yeah, they're in the title game, and it's easy. It's the winner of Texas and Texas A&M.
Why isn't Tennessee? Oh, because they're 5-2. Oh no, they could go 6-2.
Well, because I think they lost to, Georgia and Texas.
Oh, okay.
They lost the wrong games anyway. Georgia for sure is in, and then the winner of the game, the Texas A&M, is in. That one's cut and dry.
Yeah, Tennessee lost to Georgia. You're right.
So, but what about the Big 12? Like who?
So weird.
It looks like Arizona State controls their own fate. Right? If they beat Arizona, they're in. This site says. But then
what if they go to the Big 12 championship game, they lose?
I see. If you're, they're not even in the top 12 yet. So if they lose, then they wouldn't be in.
Then they're finished.
I think the ACC, just because the way SMU and Miami are sitting, there's a chance to get 2 teams. Big 12, no shot.
Yeah, it's just going to be one.
Yeah, has to be, because who else is it? BYU, Iowa State. Good spot with tiebreakers, but they got to beat Kansas State. Who else is there?
Yeah.
Colorado, they're done. They had their shot. Kansas whooped them.
Sure did. That's what I was saying about the Big 12. It's so just a bunch of tier 2 schools that they all just cannibalize each other. Oh yeah, Texas Tech, we're gonna go all the way, and then we play 3 games against Colorado, Iowa State, and Kansas State, and somehow lose 2 of them.
Yeah,
it's just you're never gonna run the table, unless you were the old school Texas, Oklahoma. They're the only legit ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think we still got some chaos left, which is beautiful. That's what we all want.
Yeah.
And then the title games will straighten things out a little bit, but I miss it by a week. I told you we're going to Seattle for that Packers game, and I was hoping that was the weekend that all the conference title games were on. It'd be great to be saddled up down there somewhere at a sports bar somewhere watching all that, but it's the weekend before, so
yeah. Well, jump into some NFL. I've got Will Levis play of the week. Two people, 2 candidates. Yeah. One, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Just his terrible throw, pick 6. Dumb play. Worst play of the week, arguably. But DeAndre Carter, I've never seen the old fair catch, stay away from the ball, stay away from the ball.
Then stand there.
Bears punt returner, and then take it off the leg to essentially.
That was so bad
to lose the game. I guess they
that
came
was
back.
so bad. Yeah.
They've had a couple of the worst. They also had, what's his name? They had another Will Levis play of the week. Oh, it was just the bomb. They've just had terrible everything.
Yeah.
Bad kicking, bad dumb plays.
It was an ugly one. I'm gonna send you a tweet, and this is a hold my beer moment. And it comes from the Patriots offensive line, because there's one play where Ramondre Stevenson gets the ball in the backfield, and he's literally tackled by 5 Dolphins. And this tweet slows it down, and you see the absolute ineptness of at least 3 of the offensive linemen look like they've never played football before. I mean, you wouldn't see this in a junior varsity high school game. I'm not kidding. There's 5 guys there tackling him behind the line of scrimmage, and it's painful. It literally might as well have been like you, me, just grab the guy that does your pool. I'll grab someone off the street here, Kelowna, and then we'll bring Stace out and make that our old line. We would have had the same result on that play in the NFL. Literally, it's unbelievable. I'll send it to you, and you're gonna say, okay, yeah, that's the worst play of the weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of that game, didn't your coach also have like a Will Levis play of the week where he challenged a play that it didn't matter either way, or what was exactly?
Yeah, he challenged a catch, no catch, but we were getting pass interference on the play anyway, and he knew that. He's an idiot. He's not like they can't keep him. I know they're going to, but they can't. And then did you hear what he said after the game?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I can't really control things once they step onto the field. It's on the players. Nothing I can do to help them. Like, nothing you can. What? Why are you there then? If that's the case, like literally, if that's what you're telling me, then after practice is over on Friday, you'd be like, all right, boys, good luck, and just don't go.
Here's some oranges. Enjoy the game.
If that's your belief, then don't even bother. Be like, hey, go get them, fellas. Like, nothing I can do for you now. You're on your own. This is something he actually said, and it wasn't misquoted. It wasn't like the media. Like, no, this was a direct quote, and I heard it. And I was like, what did this motherfucker just say? There's no chance.
It's like offensive coordinator, just take the microphone off. Don't speak to the quarterback, or just nothing you can do here.
They're on their own. So bad. They can't keep them. Like they can't. They have to. The owner needs to come in and realize we've got a gem at quarterback. Head coach fired, GM fired. Just totally start from scratch and build around this kid, because there's like 6 other players on the team that should stay, and the rest can go. Literally, they got to start over. And because if they wait another year, then now you're closer and closer to him needing the big contract. So they have to do it now.
Absolutely. It was funny, like just some things that I didn't understand. 2 things. One, everyone writing off the 49ers, where sure they don't look good, but there's like 6 games left.
Yeah.
And they're only 1 game out of their division title, maybe 2 if they've lost. But I think that division is wide open. So I don't understand how people are writing the Niners off. Even though they may not. Yeah. They might not be good.
They won back. And they've beat Seattle twice.
Yeah. And then everyone plays at least 2 games within the division still. So, I mean, everyone's in their own hands. So I thought that was weird that people are writing them off. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they can easily win the division, or at least could.
Absolutely.
Not easily, but.
Absolutely.
And then the Daniel Jones hype train is the other one that was weird. It was just like, he becomes a free agent on Sunday. Monday, he can sign wherever he wants. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? So? Who the fuck is like, oh, here we go. Daniel Jones.
So?
I couldn't understand. It was like a headline on ESPN and like other shows just, then once he clears these waivers, I'm like,
look out. Here comes the Brinks truck up.
And sure enough, he's still not signed. I was like, I don't understand why anyone, like, I get maybe the Raiders could sign him, but it's not, they're like, my God, we better get the waiver wire.
Someone's gonna. And Shefty had the greatest point, is that it's going to cost like $375,000 to sign him. And then in the offseason, he's going to sign somewhere, even if it's backup money, it'll be for $8 million or whatever it is. So they're going to get, whoever has him will get a comp pick.
Oh.
Right? So why wouldn't you
Yeah.
Like if you're anyone, sign him, stash him on the roster, let him take off, and get your comp pick. Like he'll get signed, but it's only for those two reasons. It's not because anyone actually thinks he can help them on the field.
And I just want, it's not exactly breaking news. Other people have said this, but I want it for more vindictive reasons for the Cowboys to sign Daniel Jones. But like,
yeah, for
I
Thursday.
just want the owner more. Daniel Jones, just give him 2 plays, give him 3 plays, running plays, treat him like Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
He just breaks one for 100 yards to win the game against the Giants, and Moore's head explodes, and he wrings his general manager's neck, and he finally just had
like
enough.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah. He gets fired on the spot. He gets like some sort of abuse charge because, Xavier McKinney has had another huge pick for the Packers that they let go. Obviously, everyone knows Barkley. It's just, that'd be hilarious if somehow.
And hopefully Danny doesn't just fall down on the 15-yard line like he did a couple years ago. And I think it was against the Cowboys. He had like a 75-yard touchdown run, absolutely flying. He's home free, and then he just fell.
More point shaving.
It must have been. There's no reason for him to fall. Like he was wide open. He was going to score, and right in the middle of the field too. And then just timber.
Speaking of, what a terrible set. The last game is good. I think it's Miami Packers, but oh my God, both games are terrible.
The
other 2 games.
I know. I called this a couple weeks ago. I was like, people can be so drunk in the afternoon. Because, Danny DeVito or Tommy DeVito, whatever his name is,
whatever
and Cooper Rush, like, come on. Only the true degenerates are putting any money on that game.
Yeah.
Which means that we'll definitely have a same game parlay going for that one.
It's Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, you got to do it.
You got to do it. But that's like the perfect time. I think go have your football game or, go and do something productive with yourself. Like, because that game's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. Except it was so great on Simmons this week when he was just teasing Sal that Cowboys are still alive for the playoffs and it might happen. And Sal's like, "Stop, please, just stop." He's like, "No, you just don't admit it. There's a chance. And he's getting so angry. It's like, no, there's no chance. They're fucking terrible.
Yeah, they are bad. I was thinking, how bad must Trey Lance be when he literally got cut because the Niners are like, you know what? We've got Brandon Allen. So Trey Lance, we're good. See you later.
And playing, he can't get on the field over Cooper Rush. I mean, this guy, he must do some stuff in practice where they're just like, why are we paying this dude?
Yeah,
and you know that there's dudes all over the team that are like, man, I played with a guy in college, or I got a cousin, or I got I know I have a quarterback that's better than this guy. What are we what is this?
I think I said it like a podcast ago where he was only worse than Anthony Richardson for some sort of like completion stat or passes, whatever it was in college. So it was like he was the worst all time, and Anthony Richardson was number 2. Yeah,
and real who's who.
And then Trey Lance play in like a shitty. He played in
North Dakota.
Yeah, so it's not like he was playing Alabama every week or something that he couldn't complete passes.
Not at all. He played like the Vandals of Idaho, and
and then,
but hey, they can both do backflips. So
backflips,
right? You got to draft them. You never know
Brady,
when you're going to need that.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, huge backflip guys. So it's glad they got them.
Yeah, Peyton Manning couldn't do one off a 3-meter platform with a pool.
No. I was thinking about Saquon Barkley. He jumped in the MVP race, and you're like, why can't running backs be MVPs? And you just quickly squash it with, well, would you trade Saquon Barkley for Josh Allen? And how do the Bills do with no Josh Allen but with Barkley? Obviously, the answer is simple. And then, I know you were saying it earlier, but I'm taking Josh Allen, you're taking Josh Allen, and it's probably only because you've got Lamar Jackson number 2. But I would say Derrick Henry's got to be like 8th or 9th for MVP voting. So it's like you can't have 2 guys on the team because that's not just one MVP where Josh is by himself making magic happen, even though they're both playing incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're on the same page there. What Lamar does is unmatched. But yeah, Josh is kind of he doesn't have that other horse. He's got a nice surrounding cast, but they keep changing too. He's got guys going in and out of the lineup, and Shakir's there. Sometimes he's not. Kincaid's been in and out. Coleman's been out. Cooper's just got there. Then he missed a game. So it's and he's still chugging along. So I think he would get my vote right now, and then Lamar. But I'd put Barkley probably top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got to be hands down the offensive player of the year, unless Henry kind of goes off more. But
yeah.
So Barkley had his play of the year. It was like kind of an underrated play. It wasn't underrated, but it was the second best play I thought of the year in that game last night, where Lamar had like his back turned and the lineman came through to him, and like he wasn't even looking at him. Did you see him shake him? And the guy just went,
he's gone.
I was like, he had the freest of free shots and didn't lay a finger on him. Like he's like,
not even like one hand touch.
Oh my god!
Didn't get him. Not even one hand touch. And I mean, Barkley's play is the backwards leapfrog. No.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
his backwards leapfrog.
I was like, it wasn't this week. I mean, it's crazy that he had 2 70-yard touchdown runs, and neither one of those are his play of the year because he hurdled a dude backwards.
We talked about it before. I think that's the play. That's my favorite play in the history of the NFL because I've seen Odell Beckham type catches. Yeah, I've seen like great catches. Maybe not to win a game. Like sure, put whatever you want as like the play of to win the Super Bowl, but like highlight because I've seen Odell type catches. I've seen one-handed. I've never seen anyone do what he did. That was absolutely insane.
Julian Edelman catch in the Super Bowl against the Falcons.
Here we go.
Come on. You can't say when that thing was out there and then he fell and then he reached. He still got his hands under it. Like 3 guys right there with him. That's unbelievable.
Some might say the helmet catch, but David Tyree.
Hey, look. I didn't want to bring it up. On the play. There was 3 holds on the play. And of course the refs are like, nah, nothing to see here. Got to get the Manning in another Super Bowl. This cover of Sports Illustrated that week showed it. There was 3 like 2 choke holds and another just like full on hold as Eli's running around. And any flags? No, not at all. Thanks for bringing that up. Fuck.
I didn't want to, but then you had to go with your little Edelman tout.
Because it's a great play. Because it's an absolutely great play.
So is Tyree.
I'll give you that. It was a great catch.
Mm-hmm. Especially what was he like the 4th-string running back? I mean, not 4th string, but the 4th
receiver. Oh yeah, for sure. But there you go. Yeah, it was a great play, but it should have been called back. Like remember the play last year when the first time that Kelsey did the throwback?
Yeah.
And it got called back on a penalty. It's like, too bad it happens.
Yeah.
That's what should have happened with the Tyree catch. Should never fucking happen because there was 3 holds on the play.
Reward greatness.
The penalties happen before the ball is even in the air. Greatness is irrelevant.
Who do you have in the conference championship games before the internet cuts out again and get you some?
Oh, you know what? Picks. We should actually write this down and then we'll revisit it. Put it on a piece of paper.
Right.
I'm going to go chalk in the NFC. I just think you have to. Don't have Fraser doesn't have a pen. That's good.
I've got the internet and 2 computer screens. It's not.
Yeah, the internet's working real well.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm going chalk NFC, Philly, Detroit. I don't see anyone in the NFC who can upset those 2. And it's a lot of mediocrity in that conference after that.
And then who do you have winning that game? Or do you want to wait till after you do the AFC?
Yeah, wait. And then I'm going to call an upset. And I'm going to say Buffalo and Baltimore in the AFC title game. And the reason I'm going to say that is because I think Baltimore finishes with a 5 seed, and then they just need Buffalo just needs one of the other conference winners to win their first round game, and then Baltimore would play KC. And I think eventually it's just going to be Lamar. He's been so close, and Mahomes is the guy he has to topple, and he knows that, and he's been so close so many times. And even though Lamar's never really done anything in the playoffs, I think this could be the year.
Yeah.
So that's my final 4.
It's going to be interesting because, like, the Chargers could randomly just play, like, a defensive game and knock off the Ravens. I think the Bills make it through. And it's also matchups, right? Like,
yeah.
If the Bills, hopefully the Bills and the Chiefs.
Right now would be Bills, Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Bills, Broncos, Steelers, Chargers, Texans, Ravens.
But then I'm more worried, like, how do the Chiefs and Bills avoid each other? I guess they stay 1-2 and then they wouldn't
Yeah,
play
if they're
again.
1-2, they can't play till the title game.
That's what we need, because it'd be a shame for that, Yeah,
So that's what I'm predicting is the way those matchups line up now. Buffalo wins, Pittsburgh wins, and then the Ravens against Texans would be a wash, and then you'd have Buffalo Pittsburgh, and you'd have KC Ravens. So that's how I came up with my final four.
I think I'll go chalk in the AFC with Chiefs Bills.
Yeah.
I just think the Ravens, you can pass on them way too easily. And Justin Tucker has the yips. So that's just, I've been saying that for a bit.
Yeah.
And then
their pass D looked better last night, Ben. Their pass D was better.
I think I'm going to go with an upset on the NFC with the Lions. So they've got Hutchinson out, and then what's the Italian dude's sound name starts with an A? Is he out for the season, or was just out for a little bit? Because he's their second best defensive player. White dude, long hair.
Oh, Anzalone.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's out for.
And I just think I would just wish there was a better team that could knock them out, but I would say maybe the Packers knock them out. Or even the Eagles if the Eagles end up playing, but I guess they won't. They're pretty locked in. Oh, they are locked in. The Vikings could maybe hop.
Like, that's the crazy thing is the Vikings, if they beat the Lions, like there's a chance that they could win the division.
That'd be
insane. Still play once, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Not that we see it happening, but who knows? Division game.
I think I believe in the Packers. I don't know, the Lions, they're going to have some stupid coaching thing. Jared Goff, I just don't fully trust.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They've been blowing out teams. They look great. I think they're the best looking team in the NFL right now, hands down.
Yeah.
But I think just to not go, the top two teams, I got to pick a little upset. And I like them better than the Eagles. But I think I'll go Packers, Eagles.
You actually could have just described the Eagles there when you said that there's going to be some stupid coaching thing and don't totally trust the quarterback.
That's across the board, really.
Right. And that's the difference. That's the NFC compared to the AFC.
Really is. I think the Packers are the team I trust the most. If Hutchinson wasn't hurt and Anzalone wasn't hurt, I still like the Lions the most. But if just to mix it up, I think I would go Packers, Eagles. There's gonna be something crazy, isn't there? Like the Bucks.
There is, except the one thing about the NFC is, and really I guess the AFC, but the NFC more so, is that 2 seed, whether it's Philly or Detroit, that's a bye. Come on, they're gonna be playing right now Washington, maybe Arizona or Seattle or San Francisco, one of those 3 teams. I guess maybe if the Niners get into that spot, that'd be a little scary. But if it's the commies, come on.
Yeah.
They're not winning a playoff game.
That's what's crazy, because the 49ers, although I guess if the Niners made it in, they'd probably just make it in as over the Seahawks. I don't think any of them are going to make enough run to be a wild card team.
Well, but Seattle and Arizona right now are only a game back.
Yeah,
Washington.
That's true. Yeah,
and Washington hasn't exactly been winning lately.
No, they're not looking good.
Yeah, that 7 seed is going to be. If
the Bucks D can get a little bit better, I like them too.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's a good call, because they're going to be tough to win the division. Just they've lost to Atlanta twice. So now they got to finish a full game up on them. So that's working against them. But I'd love to see the Bucks as that 7 seed.
I think I meant to place this bet too, but my bookie was out of town, so it screwed me on the Bucks bet, because I think they're 400 to win the division, and then also my Dan Campbell, he went from plus 350 to plus 175 for Coach of the Year. So lost that. But the Bucks, I think they play the Giants, they play Carolina twice, and they play like a couple other just terrible teams. They have such an easy schedule the rest of the way.
Oh, I love it.
So if you're out there,
I'd love to see Bakesies get in.
Me too.
Right? Why not?
Bet of the week for you people out there. Here it is. We'll recap.
Ooh.
Bucks to win the division. I wonder what they're probably like plus 250 or something like that, plus 300. But easy schedule. Go look at it. It's not pulling up for me, but Carolina twice.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Your internet's awesome down there.
Yeah. I think they've got the Saints as well. So
let's pull up there. But yeah, they must. I know they play Carolina this week.
Yeah.
Let's see, Buccaneers here. They like Bakesey's in would be so good.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a lot of guys on that playoff team that are, or on that roster that are playoff tested. So I'd be a-okay seeing them get in. Bucks, they play the Panthers, the Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints.
Yeah, brutal.
That's 4 wins, isn't it?
Minimum.
Yes, maybe 5.
Yeah.
So huge. Let's go. Let's get them into that, and they already beat the Eagles this year. So let's get them into that 7 hole.
Ooh, and then let's go to Atlanta's got 2 tough games. They got the Chargers. Chargers coming off a loss, so they're gonna hopefully come back and win that one.
Yeah.
Vikings. The Vikings revenge game against Kirk Cousins because he's a tool. Scary.
Yikes. Jesus.
But then they've got some easy ones at the end: Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, I like it. We're doing betting the Bucks, make the playoffs, win the division.
What do the commies got left? They're fraudulent. So
they are. Hopefully,
to see what else. Here we go. Titans have been playing well lately.
Yeah, they can play defense.
Titans in a bye. Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins. Oh wait, that's preseason.
I was like Jets, Dolphins. No,
it ends with the Cowboys.
Yeah. So, I mean, they should lose. Maybe the Titans. They'll lose the Eagles. Maybe a Falcons. Maybe a Saints. So yeah, I think they've got 2.5 losses in there.
Yeah, 2 and 3 at the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're far from in the clear.
Yeah. And then is there anyone on the AFC side? The Broncos are in. The Chargers are in. I don't want the Dolphins, obviously.
No.
Bengals, Colts. I think, I'll just keep it how it is. The Broncos, Chargers, Ravens. What's happening to the Texans? I mean, you're a QB sightseer. What's happening there? What's he... I don't understand how he's just dropping off. His line
sucks. Their line is really bad. And he's got no confidence. Like, he just seems like he's got the yips. He just doesn't have any confidence in them to protect. So he's getting rid of the ball too soon. He's not reading anything. And it's a shame because the kid's so talented and he was ridiculous last year. But like, their line is bad. Their line is like Patriots line bad. Not quite, but it's nobody's that bad. But it's that's what's holding them back right now. And look at some of the plays they made on defense. Did you see the tight end touchdown, like the 60-yard, that Oquanakwo or whatever his name was? Did you see the first guy that came to tackle him?
No.
It was like he got maddened. Like he went towards him and he was just like stopped. He got pulled away. Didn't even try and tackle him. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And of course, because it's like all the buys and stuff this week, I was playing against Will Levis in a fantasy matchup. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Why did he just get this 80-yard touchdown out of that? And I lost by half a point, by the way, because that fucking cocksucker, Quentin Johnston, had 4 drops last night. All he needed was just to catch the ball at some point for 1 yard. That's it. 4 drops.
Oh my God.
And he's playing in the NFL. Get him out. That can't happen.
But at least Willie Disley got you 2 catches to make you survive.
That was nice. Yeah, the disser. I'm in guillotine still somehow. I'm absolutely Garfield. That is so good.
Surviving guillotine somehow each week. And like, imagine I told you it's week 12 and you're going to be watching Monday night Will Disley to get 2 catches and you're going to survive.
The disser. Meanwhile, I left Jonnu Smith and his 24 points on the bench.
Yeah. What have you've missed on tight ends like the last 3 straight weeks and somehow still skated by?
Somehow. It's just been in my head. And the problem was I thought I only wanted to pick up 1 tight end last week. And I was dropping my loser tight end and then another running back I wanted to drop. So I picked like 8 dudes and I thought that I'd just all drop the same guy so I'd only get 1. I ended up getting both of them. So I spent $2 and picked up Disley and Jonnu Smith. I literally picked up both of them last week. If I'd have just picked up 1 like I wanted to, then I would have played Jonnu and I wouldn't even have been worried about the game last night.
Yeah.
And now this week I can't play Jonnu Smith because they're playing in Green Bay. And if it's even a little bit cold, you know what's going to happen to that Dolphins offense.
Exactly.
It'll be crickets. So
You'll somehow speak by again.
Here. This guillotine league has been wearing on me, and somehow I'm in the final 6. This is awesome.
You're in another guillotine league. They only had 13 teams, 14 teams. This is the finals this week, and I was pretty much done. Stone, it's the Campbell family and friends. Stone and Bill, they're projected way higher than me. My team shit the bed. I finally had Justin Jefferson for the first time in my fantasy football life. 3 straight weeks, done nothing.
Nothing.
Blaise's least favorite player on earth right now is Sam Darnold, who can't throw him.
Second least. Nobody will ever. Well, Tyreek Hill. I mean,
okay.
Guy beats up women and children. That guy's
maybe
the worst.
Aaron Rodgers too. Yeah, Sam Darnold's down the list.
Sam Darnold, the way, although late he found Hawkinson, which was nice. I sat on that guy forever, and finally he's picked it up. So
yeah,
but Justin Jefferson is out there. Throw him the goddamn football.
Yeah. So yeah, I go into pretty much. I'm done. I go into Sunday Night Football, and I'm like, I ask God. I'm like, I'm gonna lose. I didn't really ask God, but it was like, if you can just give me all I need is like, I don't want to get too crazy with my request, Lord Jesus Christ, Buddha, whoever you believe in, but can you give me
Buddha doesn't like football.
Barkley? I don't want to get like greedy, but like the 12th or 13th best rushing game in the history of the NFL. Like I don't want top 10. Just give me 13th, 14th best rushing game of all time. And then he went and got 9th. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm still alive.
Thank you. I'll take it. What an animal. He's an absolute freak.
Oh my God. I was still kind of close. It's like, oh, well, I need him to break off a 70-yarder at the end of this game and a touchdown or I'm out. Oh, there he goes. Great.
There he is.
We're in.
Unreal. The other guys must not have been happy with that scenario.
Oh no. And then that one I've been doing good in our 18 league. I scared by 1 week. This one I scared by twice. It was another Sunday night game and he had Kaimi Fairbairn with a 58-yarder, 56-yarder, whatever it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he hits that. I'm out, but he missed it. Like, we're in.
Yes, sir. Keep skating. Skate along. I gotta just keep doing it again this week, hopefully.
Yeah. And I had no business winning either. Like I dropped, we even talked about it. I dropped Jaden Daniels and I picked up Kyler Murray. And then I didn't start Gibbs or Jacobs. And I started, I don't know, someone. Someone I shouldn't have started. But anyways, I made it through.
That's impressive. Week. My running backs, and somehow I'm still alive. And this week I started Brian Robinson and Tyrone Thompson or whatever that guy's name is from the Giants.
Yeah.
I didn't get many points. Somehow I made it through.
Yeah. Yeah. No, ours is, we talked about it via text, like in the last finals of the guillotine, it's the hardest week on earth because you've got so many good players to pick from.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
I know.
But yeah.
I'll get there.
Well, we can jump into some picks. Is there any good games this week? Because last week was a bunch of shitty ones. There's some good games.
There's some good. It turned out good. The witching hour in that morning slot was unbelievable. We should have had 2 overtime games if it wasn't for the commies kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lions or Vikings game goes to overtime. That was good.
That's true.
My game was not worth watching.
No.
But yeah, there was some stuff. I had a nap in the afternoon.
Which is funny because we said the opposite. You're like, we both thought all the games were shit, and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch the Patriots game. Perfect. I don't have to watch any of the other games. And end up being the old switcheroo.
Yeah, I didn't have to watch that one much past halftime. I did because I'm a glutton for punishment. But
yeah, Bears Lions. Again, do you bet the Lions like -20 and just keep on? Would they have hit that bet last week? They would have.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they would not have.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a lot of points. Bears have been playing good, but I told myself I was just going to take the Lions until proven otherwise. So
yeah, I mean, if you took them +18 or -18, sorry, you would have hit.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Bears. I don't think they've been playing that good. I think they just got lucky with a stupid onside kick. The Vikings playing prevent, some dumb stuff.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Lions. I'm with you. Cowboys Giants is a 3.5 point game, I guess, because they're both so terrible.
They're so bad.
Can you guess the over under? You've been good at this.
41.5.
37.5.
Oh wow! I gave them too much credit.
Yeah, really gonna be a shootout down there.
I accounted for some Thanksgiving fireworks.
Yeah. Dolphins Packers is a good game ish. I hope it's cold.
That's the thing, right? If it's weather, then it won't be close. If not, then I like the Dolphins' defense is good.
It really is.
Yeah, they got some. They play well, so that's going to be a battle if it's not snowing or incredibly cold.
Per usual, is Groundhog Day on my end. Mike, my friend Hempstead, Dolphins 2 apologist, loves to squawk off when they beat teams that aren't above 500. And then and again, I did this. I think the last 5 games of the regular season, I won $100 off him every game because I was like, all right, I'll bet you. Okay, I'll bet you. So this week he's all right. Let's bet next game. What is it? Yeah, it's like let's bet this time. Dolphins Packers. Yeah, Mike. So just stupid bets all the time, and then this time I'm like, all right, Dolphins Packers, $100. So he took it. So he likes pain.
Oh, let's see. Go to the next one. I'm just looking up the weather.
Oh my God, Chiefs Raiders on Friday. So I guess we don't have to watch Friday football unless you've got Brock Bowers or.
And that's Friday morning too.
Yeah, 11 a.m.
Oh wow,
noon your time.
Noon. Okay, that's all right then.
Yeah, brutal. Sunday, a game that should have been not close is kind of Texans 5-point favorites over the Jaguars.
Yeah.
You never want to play the Jaguars after a bye week. Everyone knows that.
No, never want to play that. Unless there is a caveat there. Unless Mac Jones is the starting quarterback. So just watch that one.
Yeah. They said if he's Trevor Lawrence is hurt still? Or?
I haven't heard anything. I don't imagine probably till today when they start practicing again. But update on the other one. It's going to be 0 on my scale in Green Bay on Thursday night. So that's
32.
32. That's too cold for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
he was going to fold like a cheap tent.
Sure is. Chargers Falcons. Chargers are only 2-point favorites. I feel like I would put them a lot higher.
Yeah, and the Falcons are off a bye, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chargers are just going to out-tough them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
short week, and then they got to go on the road. That's the only thing that works against them there. But I mean, let's be honest. Chiefs never cover. Although, I think is this the time that the Chiefs do cover because the Raiders were pretty lippy last year after they beat them at Christmas. There,
yeah,
They had a lot to say, and you wonder if the Chiefs are like, okay, no more. We're not playing with our food this time. And absolutely put it on them. Because who's the quarterback now for the isn't the Gardner hurt?
Yeah, the Falcons' old quarterback.
Oh, Desmond Ridder?
Yeah.
I never take the Chiefs with this many points ever, but if it's Desmond Ridder, I'm just laying the points.
Might have to.
He sucks out loud.
Yeah, he does. Where did he go to college? I always forget.
Cincinnati.
Okay, that's right.
He was good there. He got him in the playoffs, remember?
I think the bet of the week, Titans Commanders. The Commanders are 5.5-point favorites.
What?
Yeah.
No, Titans are getting 5.5.
Yeah, sorry, that's what. Didn't I say that? Commanders are 5.5-point favorites. Oh, I thought you said Commanders are.
No, you said Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take those points. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, just purely from the Titans defense. I mean, I think both running backs are hurt too.
Yeah, Eckler was knocked right out, so he's going to not be back. But how great is the possibilities are endless when you look at all the weird stuff that happened to the commies on Sunday, and now you add Will Levis to the equation. Like, there's going to be a play where we are so excited, and we're just like, I can't wait for the pod Tuesday to talk about it. We have to figure out a way to clip this because weird shit always happens in the commies games, and then now you add the human highlight reel that is Will Levis, human bad highlight reel. Oh, it's going to be fantastic! I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. And when it happens, I'm going to lose it. It's going to be awesome.
The Commanders have had the weirdest endings to their games.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what I mean. There's always wacky stuff. Like, look at the guy ran backwards for a kick, and then he did like the Madden spin.
Yeah.
And then just hit the turbo boost and scored, and then another onside kick turned into a touchdown. Like I said, it's weird shit happens, and add Will Levis to the mix. It's fantastic.
I could imagine if you were like a degenerate gambler and you had money on that game, you must have just had an up and down, like.
And then the over hits.
Yeah.
God damn.
Just $100,000 on this random game and just oh
Oh
god,
boy.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Absolutely.
Wow, I'm gonna jump ahead over the Vikings game just because I saw this one jump out at me.
Yeah.
Colts Patriots. The Colts are only 2.5-point favorites.
Oh, Pats versus Rats, hey?
Pats at home, I guess. You don't want to screw around with them.
No. Come on. Like, this is bad news because like we've struggled with good quarterbacks. So Richardson doesn't scare me, but we've really struggled when quarterbacks run. So yeah, I think this. I don't have high hopes for this game, even though they're not good. I don't trust Mayo or Covington to figure out any kind of a game plan to stop him from running around. Put it in your phones right now when you're setting up your parlays. Do everything. Anthony Richardson over his rushing yards.
Yeah,
that's just happening.
Another bet of the week.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good game, but I think it's two high-end frauds. The Vikings Cardinals. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites.
Ouch,
I mean, I like the Vikings. I think we're good, but I just don't think we're not really winning nicely. We have a great defense, can run the ball. I guess we're not I need a less harsh word than frauds. Is there a less harsh word?
No, I mean fraud is pretty harsh.
Yeah,
I think you're calling grown men professional athletes. That's about as bad as it gets. You could call them quitters, I suppose. That would be worse.
Yeah.
But I actually think I really like the Vikings in this one just because their defense is so complicated and they show you so many different things. And I think Kyler will be confused as hell.
Yeah.
Are they okay against the run? Because the only thing, is if they get Connor going. But
no, I think for a while, up until a couple of weeks ago, I think they're first against the run or second.
They're
really good.
So yeah, that's a nice spot for the Vikings.
Yeah. The Cardinals just never really trusted them, and then obviously the last game just kind of showed you they don't deserve that number one in the NFC West
at all.
No. Ooh, Steelers, Bengals. Bengals 3.5-point favorites or 3-point favorites.
Ugh. Bengals off a bye.
Yeah.
I feel like they are okay against Pittsburgh, aren't they? Don't they usually do well against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, you said this last week with we thought it was
in that division.
A shitty line. We're like, oh, why would the Steelers not be favored by more over the Browns? And then the Browns go ahead and win.
Go ahead and win. That is weird.
Especially if I told you in the snow. I mean, I'm still
dude, by the way, and this, I never ever bet the under, but I did in this parlay because everyone was talking about how bad the weather was going to be on Thursday. They're like, and don't play either kicker if you're in your fantasy because the wind is going to be so bad, and then there's a snowstorm coming. There's fucking 13 points at halftime, and then the craziest snowstorm we've seen in years kicks in. 5 minutes after the snow starts, you can't see the lines on the field. Yeah, and the overhit comfortably.
Didn't the kicker have 20 points too?
Maybe.
The Steelers kicker, I think, went off.
No, he ended up he had 3 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Winnie. You can never bet a Winnie game. Don't do overs, don't do unders.
So Burrow's 3-2 against the Steelers. See what happens, I guess.
But also, I mean, the Steelers who were their quarterbacks when he's played them? Guys that are
yeah, true.
Third stringers now, but
could be a mix of anything.
There's so many shitty games that are close lines. So the Seahawks are 2-point favorites over the Jets, which again seems weird. The people who set the lines apparently never watch the Jets. They like the idea of the Jets, but I don't think they watch.
No, you know what that is? That is Seattle having to go west to east and playing a 10 a.m. game by their clocks. So that they always set the line like that for them because it's hard. These guys fly across the country and then they got to play, what amounts to a morning game for them.
Yeah, that's where that waking up from. Probably waking up at 6 a.m.
But I'm still going to take them because the Jets are shits.
Yeah. The Rams Saints, another mad game. The Rams are 2.5-point favorites. I would have thought the Rams would be a little bit higher, but the Rams are such a hard team to place. I want to think that they're good, but then they're not. Then they are.
It's weird. When their offense is on, they're ridiculous. But their defense is,
Yeah.
But the Saints aren't good either. So
no.
Coin flip on that one. Ride the Macy's train under a tutter for sure.
Oh yeah, Bucks over the Panthers, 6 points. Love it.
Oh my goodness. A Sunday afternoon game. Hello.
Yeah, finally a great game. Eagles, Ravens. Ravens 3-point favorites.
Possible Super Bowl preview.
Want to know the hardest call of the week? I'm in the Guillotine League, and I've got Barkley. I have to play him, but he's playing against the Ravens, who've been really good against the run.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That
and
is
then
a tough
I've got
one.
like Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to bench him against the Patriots in favor of Barkley.
Oh.
And some other like crazy stuff. I'm like, oh my god! But
I feel like the last time that Taylor played against the Patriots, it was not good for the Patriots.
No,
don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but you also can't be the guy that thinks he's too smart and benches Barkley.
yeah, exactly. You can never do that.
Because I've got Mixon versus Jacksonville, second against the run. Gibbs, Chicago. And then Jonathan Taylor, Jonathan Jacobs. Or Josh Jacobs, yeah. Well,
all right.
We'll see.
Oh, the night game. Sunday night game. Beautiful.
I hope Purdy's back. Judging by this line, Purdy isn't going to be back, but...
True. We'll just click that Bills side until we see that he is back in action.
That might be the bet to place, is bet the Niners and just hope that Purdy comes back. Because I assume if he's back, it's got to move at least a couple points.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get it right now at that big a number.
Mm-hmm. And
absolutely.
Is Bosa like out for a while, or is it just kind of day to day?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. He kind of always does this time of year, doesn't he? Usually ends up sitting out a couple games, and it's got to be hard just being absolutely enormous and ripped like that. Of course, muscles are going to get pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a freak show of an athlete.
It looks like Purdy throws without pain while wait and see for Bosa.
Okay.
And Trent Williams.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Standard had this article, speaking of loser of the week. Ugly loss in Green Bay makes it clear the 49ers need Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa. Thanks, San Francisco Standard.
Whoa. Hard-hitting journalism there.
Who the fuck is this?
Who's the editor?
David Lombardi needs to be murdered. You never write again, David Lombardi. I hope you're not.
And the editor too. That should have just sent this. Fucking rewrite this. What? As soon as he got it, he should have just thrown it at him. Said, "Dude, come on."
I hope that's not Mike Lombardi's kid, but
no, he's a coach, not a writer.
Okay. And
that's like us saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm gonna need some food and water to get through this next month."
Yeah, exactly. According to David Lombardi, he's a Stanford graduate with a master's in broadcast journalism from Boston University.
Fuck. Yeah, well, there you go, kids.
Oh my god.
Make sure you spend those 7 years of hard-earned dollars to go to college so you can come up with gems like the Niners need Purdy and Bosa.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking idiot.
God gave us another gift. I don't know why I keep on saying God. Someone gave us a gift. We have
no doubt.
Winnie on Monday night as an underdog.
In Denver. Please snow. Please snow again.
Please snow.
Right? Like that needs to happen again.
Yeah.
He's in his element. He loves it. We need more snow angels and just pure Winnie chaos.
Absolutely. You can't even bet a game. Like, I have no idea. Gun in my head, I would never bet. Because they could lose by 15 and it's all his fault, or they win by 3 and it's all his fault.
Yeah, for sure. He's every bit as likely to throw 3 touchdowns as he is to throw 3 interceptions. Like it's literally, Vegas would have that as a pick 'em every single time.
That's the ultimate Russian roulette. It's like if you really like pain and to hurt yourself, just bet on a Jameis Winston game.
Just bet on Winnie. He's going to keep you there for 60 minutes, though. You got to give him that.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know what he's going to do.
That's funny. This is so weird. So we have no bye week teams, week 13, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last week.
6. And then there's some next week in week 14.
Yeah. 6 again next week.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh, God.
Baltimore, Denver, Houston, Colts, Washington.
Well, at least not very many good teams.
Yeah. That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
There's no one who can do the math properly to have everyone has bye weeks that make sense and even them out.
You would think I think the European games or the overseas games throw wrench into the mix, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think too, it's like, and I don't know why, because it's made the league even bigger. It's like they hate fantasy football. Like look at all these nerds playing fantasy football. Guess what? Last week of the regular season, 6 teams aren't playing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to win this game.
Yeah. Especially the last week of fantasy football, and you have everyone on a bye. Sweet.
Yeah. Who'd you say the 6 were again?
So, I mean, if you are a Joe Mixon owner like myself in every league, pretty much, Houston, Denver, who now you've got Sutton's been like a top 10 wide receiver for the past 5 weeks. Oh, Baltimore.
Whew. Oh. Ouch.
Huge.
Ouch.
And if you're Baltimore, I know some people who have like the Lamar Derrick Henry combo. They play the Steelers right this week, or the Eagles against their pretty good defense this week,
and then a bye. Yeah, you better hope you don't need those 2 wins.
Yeah.
Oof, and then Patriots and Commies.
Yeah, and Indianapolis. So yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's out, Jaden Daniels is out, both Washington running backs. It's great chaos.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, Scary Terry.
Jalen Polk. Oh no, wait, he sucks. Out loud. Once again, the follies of our team to screw up wide receiver in the draft. Traded with the Chargers so they could take McConkey, who just catches every single pass. Mm-hmm. And then we've got this kid named Jalen Polk who sucks. He can't even I don't think he get a catch last week. He's garbage.
Well, and white third down wide receivers have never really done well with the Patriots either, so it's a surprise.
Yeah, work in the middle of the field. Like, it's a good route runner. Have you ever heard this combination before? Nah, let's trade it.
Yeah.
Fuck. I can't. It's hard. It's so hard. Yeah. I actually, I'm at the point now where I don't know if I want them to play Drake anymore.
Yeah.
We've seen what he is. The kid's a stud. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need the seasoning. I don't want him to get hurt. And the performance last week by the line, it's been bad all year. This was an all-timer last week. There was the left tackle, Fraser, took 3 pre-snap penalties, a hold, and then he was basically standing there watching this guy get a strip sack. And he wasn't the tackle who got benched because the right tackle was even worse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Oh. But they have nobody else to put in because the roster's been so mismanaged. It's literally he was that bad, but he wasn't even the worst tackle that we had that day. It's so painful.
Poor Drake May.
I know, and the kid, but then he pulls out all these plays. You're like, man, he's so good, but he's just got to be exhausted.
Yeah, and it's sad. I don't know if it's because doing the podcast, but I felt like the NFL season just flew by. We're already in week 13.
I know,
and it's like fantasy. If your fantasy matters, it's almost finished.
Yeah,
it's just flying by. I'm back on Roger Goodell's side, the owner's side of more games. It's like, you know what? Maybe have another game.
Have another one? Yeah, let's throw it out there. Yeah, because I mean, it's proven now the preseasons they're junk. Get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of them. Add one more regular season. Do away with the preseason, and away we go. Mm-hmm. The first week, the first month of the season, we expect it. Now it's just going to be sloppy football. Who gives a shit? It still counts. We can still bet on it.
Add 2 more games, but add an extra bye week for a team. So then they can rest, rehab. Then you elongate the season even longer. But hey, you get a week to kind of recuperate.
I think at 18, I think you still need 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
Like I said, the season's longer. We all get more football. Everybody wins.
Yeah, exactly. No one's like, oh, we want football to end in February. Let's take it till March. Let's take it all the way around.
Absolutely. It's just starting to get nice again. Like the nastiest of the cold is right around then. Let's get, things are improving. Let's roll. Let's do it.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, you don't want to hear this, but soccer, they play 11 months out of the year. And it's obviously not the same kind of punishment, but guys are getting hurt left and right. They never have any time off. And if NFL is the most popular sport on the continent,
just keep going.
Keep going. Basketball, basketball lasts forever. NHL lasts forever.
Yeah, baseball lasts way too long. Hockey playoffs go to almost July now. It's nonsense. Mm-hmm. We don't want all these leagues are doing it except for the one we want to do it.
Exactly. College football's figuring out.
Wouldn't that also push back the Super Bowl to a holiday weekend down there in the States?
Which
mid-February isn't
President's Day or something?
Yeah, or Martin Luther King, or
that's in January. Must be Presidents.
Yeah, I think in mid-February. It's always right after. It's right after the Super Bowl, and we're thinking, well, why would they not want let's have the Super Bowl on a holiday weekend.
Yeah. 17th, President's Day.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's add another game, add another bye. Boom. Super Bowl is on a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Jackpot city. And then the parties really get after it because nobody goes to work Monday.
Yeah. When really that should just be a day off anyways.
What's that?
The day after Super Bowl.
Yeah. Or here's an idea, Raj. Play the game Saturday night.
Yeah. This is true.
Right?
Yeah. Are they up against anything on Saturday night? I'm surely
it's
not.
The Super Bowl. What could they possibly be on? Unless Taylor Swift's like doing a live, and it's on Netflix, it's on every network, it's on everything else. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's the Super Bowl.
Isn't there always some bullshit like awards show on too that they not like they're competing, but at least you get people away from it on Sunday nights? It's like the Emmys or something.
Whoever it is, if they see the Super Bowl schedule there, they're changing what they're doing.
They sure are.
Well, maybe we'll go the week after.
Yeah, Saturday night, Raj. We want one more week, two more bye weeks, and Super Bowl. Push it back. Yeah.
No brainer. Let's do it.
All right. Well, before my internet crashes again and I have 2 hours of editing to do on this fucking podcast, Fraser LePay podcast, you still have made it through this far. Get the Learn with Lukai book.
Yes.
On
Learn
Amazon.
to play soccer.
That is the end of the podcast. Sorry we had some more Wi-Fi issues, but we got through it. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Go check out Learn with Lukai on Amazon for the soccer book. And like I said, hopefully we'll have basketball before Christmas. Be a great little Christmas present. Thanks for listening. Fraser LePay podcast. Subscribe, like, share.